Then I want to see it show. I flip on the poker face. Yeah, I'm really cool. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love.
Love
For the community with great advice. I know who I should go see.
I'm a mess today.
Oh, I am too. So we're equal. We're
Gina,
equal.
your husband just left here.
God, I didn't know you said Gina there first. You said your husband just left here. I'm like, I don't have a husband.
No, Gina. Gina's husband
Gina's
just left here.
He doing a little handyman work for you?
Yeah, I've got like this 20-foot light that I want to get put up.
I saw that. Hot Rod in the Fast Lane joining us. Thank you. Kevin Cooper in the house. Gina McCann, of course. Brad, how are you, man? Murder.
Let's give Michelle Robinson a happy birthday. It's her birthday today, I'm pretty sure.
It is. Happy birthday, Michelle. Megan Miller in the house.
What's up, Megan Miller?
You called me Scoot. Is that for a reason? Or is that a typo?
If you didn't have a big enough, tall enough ladder, Gina.
Yeah. That's it. That's up there. I saw your picture. That's up there. Yeah.
18 feet.
Yeah. So you need a big A-frame or something to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, Lee Dixon?
Hey, Lee, did you have a good birthday?
It has been a day. Was it Lee's birthday? Did I miss Lee's birthday?
Remember the day? Yeah, when we did miss his birthday.
Did we? Sorry, Lee. Hi, Tony from Hindsight. Thanks for killing it at the Jam last Thursday. That was good.
Oh, yeah.
They were good.
Yeah, they were good. I haven't forgotten. You just got to be patient with me.
Yeah.
And I will reach out.
Reach out and touch someone. Yes. Edward's so wiki.
Hi, Erica. Hi, Edward. Hi, Jim. Jim, I think I saw you this weekend.
I did see Jim Thursday at your place.
Matt Anderson. Corona.
Keep talking. I'll just keep clicking. John Esper, thank you. From Columbus.
I'm thinking he's going to with Michelle at the end. Oh, nice. That would be nice, actually.
What? I'm getting there.
Sorry, it was. I keep forgetting that people can't read my mind.
You're always
said I'm playing guitar with Michelle at the end of the month.
Oh, okay. There you go. Corona Buffett in the house.
Buffett.
He is in Seattle today. Hey.
Who is he?
Thank you for listening from Seattle. Or watching. Hi, Dave. Thank you for being here. Gina.
Sorry, I'm a hot mess, y'all.
You rolled in at the last second.
I did.
Slid in like Tom Cruise in his underwear, you did. It was crazy. It was close. Yeah, Nick Wheeler in the house. What's going on, Nick Wheeler? Thank you. What else we got? Kara here. And yes, is my cold better? Yeah, it's about half. I'm trying my best not to. I did a little vocal resting today. I need that stuff Lee's hawking out there for my voice, man. Yesterday was rough on the show. It was. But today's a little better, and then I've got a gig tonight and tomorrow night at your place, Ceris.
Yeah, it's the last one. Get your reservations, and I know that a whole bunch of the musicians have reserved the large table because they're coming out.
Oh, that's fun. I'm glad to hear that. That'll be cool. Yeah, we're going to have some fun tomorrow night with Name That Tune. For real.
For real.
Hi, Bronson, thank you for dropping by. Hey, it's Hot Topic Tuesday, Ceris. You know what that means? Episode 99 today. Next week, the big one. We've made it 100 episodes. Can you believe that?
I actually can, because I think it's a fabulous show.
It is fabulous, and our viewers have been really good lately. The views on the show, it's been good, and everybody's interacting, and that's what we love when you make comments. A couple of weeks ago, we had like 300 comments on the show, which was fantastic. It was a good topic, but I forget which one it was. But we were hammering out the comments. We were. How's your day been? This beautiful weather.
So busy.
Yeah. Have you been able to enjoy the weather?
A little bit.
Yeah, I got out for a few minutes. It was nice. Got out with the
Doing
dogs.
a lot of work inside. I'm trying to get everything done. So, because my garage is a mess, and I'd like to set up like my wood shop in there and everything. But I've also got a bunch of gym stuff, my ex-husband's stuff in there until he finishes his house, so he can move his furniture in there. You know what I mean? Because he's
Right.
a hoarder. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. So he's storing some of the furniture in my garage. So we're both trying to get everything out so he can go, so he can furnish his home, and then I can set up my garage for all that.
Ain't it fun?
Ain't it fun?
Ain't it fun? Hi, Angela Combs.
Hi, Angela. I'm gonna Mr. Tim asked me to give a special shout out. So there are two really good shows happening on Saturday. One, you should definitely go check out the Crimson Sisters FinTech. They're having a great show that starts at 7:30. And you can come to the Bell and the Bear for our doubleheader of Mojo and Doghouse.
Wow. A double header.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Speaking of that, you had a big crowd with the DAT band this weekend too.
We sure did. And it was, so that was an interesting, it was crazy actually. We had a line up outside the door at like 9. It was crazy. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but I received kind of nasty messages from people often about their opinions based on other musicians' opinions, thinking somehow their opinion is, or they have a right to be judgmental opposed to the other. I don't know. It's really ridiculous. But I received a very interesting message, and this goes to my whole hatred of politics discussing. But somebody who thinks very differently than Dat Band made a comment saying, who's never really spoken to me, but sent me a private message to basically berate me and tell me I'm horrible for booking them because of the opinions that somebody posts on their page politically, and that shame on me and all of this. And I was just like, and then their final sentence to me was, obviously going to be a low turnout. Nobody's going to show to the show. And I was like, okay, and I don't respond to it. I mean, I'd love to, give them but in the end, and this is somebody who actually claims to be a huge music supporter, does all these things. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
No.
Oh, wow. I never told you?
No.
Oh, yeah. This is somebody who has a whole music page, but apparently only supports the people that he agrees with. So it was a pretty nasty message. So I was just, a part of me was, and that band packs the house, doesn't matter, but apparently, I mean, it was so packed that from 8:30 to whatever, and I was just laughing. I was like, let's put our entitlement up our assholes, because just because you believe one thing doesn't mean the rest of the world has to. And I don't give a shit about your opinions. That's your private business. But don't come being nasty to me.
Eric, I couldn't agree more. Politics ruins everything. It does.
Politics ruins everything.
And this goes back to old discussions we've had about, I would prefer, it's Scott's perfect world, there would be no politics on the social media side of music, and people wouldn't interject that into their, and it does reflect on your band. It does. I mean, if you get real political, certain people are not going to like you. I mean, it's just the way of the world right now. But also, though, don't tell, I mean, that was kind of rude that somebody would send you that and say, oh, you're going to have a low turnout. How do they know? They got a crystal ball? I mean, come on.
Assume that everybody feels that they're the same opinion. And it's crazy. I hate it. And I've made the comment that I'm tired. I wish, how it affects the rest of the bands. It could affect bookings. I'm not going to take away a booking unless somebody makes something, some crazy ass comment. But I got to be honest with you. I don't even I go through Facebook now, and when I see something political, I just mute them. I don't even know who I'm muting anymore. I don't even care. I don't go on Facebook to get involved in anybody's politics. It doesn't. I don't need any more reasons to be angry. You know what I mean? I'm good.
Yeah, you're angry enough already. We saw that on last week's show. Somebody mentioned it. Bronson mentioned it earlier. He was scared of you last week or something. So you are not one to hold back on your opinions. And
no, but
I've never seen you get political.
But I won't get political.
Never. In fact, you don't allow it in your bar.
No, I got signs. No religion, no news, no politics. That's your fucking business. I don't need that. Right.
And I think I know you well enough to know that if somebody started getting really political on the stage, you're going to pull the plug on it. You know, you're going to pull that plug and say, no, ain't happening.
If anybody ever got political on my stage, oh my God.
Done.
I
mean, you know where the breaker is. You can shut the band off. I mean, right now.
Oh, I would be livid. No. You know, there's certain.
Moss, that's a great statement. People come out to shows to get away from all that crap. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, man. I don't go to, I went Thursday night to the jam and I haven't seen you since then really to talk to you, but that jam Thursday night was one of the most uplifting nights I've had in a long time. And I needed that a lot. And I got there and it was full of so many great people with all kinds of opinions, politically or not. They all were there, all supporting each other. Nobody talked politics. Nobody did anything but smile and have a great time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sure brightened my spirits for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Edward, I'm the same. Edward said he's unfollowing about 10 people a day. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what side of the what side you lean. I don't want to hear any of it.
No, if you're going crazy on socials about politics, I'm done with you.
I'm done. I don't even know who I'm blocking.
Left, right, up, down, whatever you are. I don't play that game, and we don't play it on the show. We never talk politics on this show. We talk about people that talk politics sometimes, but you know, Tony says, "Don't feed the trolls." Amen to that. And it's so funny. It's so funny that people think. And like I said, I don't know who this is, but I'm sure you'll tell me later.
You are going to die when you find out.
People think they're entitled to say things like that to an owner of a venue. I mean, do you know this person very well?
I've never met I've never met him, or maybe I have, I don't know, but he's never once reached out to me. So this is the first time he's reached out to me.
Wow.
Monica about what? What do we think about Monica about what?
So it's not.
I blocked my ex-husband when I was still married to him.
What are you talking? Who are you talking to?
I don't know. Shane said he blocked his mom, and I said I blocked my ex-husband when I was still married to him. And now Mickey Evans is saying, so what do you think about Monica? Monica who?
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking about either.
What are you talking about?
There's Courtney. She says, when I get deep, when we're all coming out to have fun. Yeah. Leave the drama at home. Thank you. And
yeah, I don't care what side you lean on. I don't want to see it.
Well,
so my Facebook feed has been really nice lately because I haven't seen any politics. Monica Lewinsky? I don't know. Apparently she's good at giving head.
Jesus. Oh, are we done now? Is that it? Drop the mic. We're done for the day? Oh my God.
I don't have an opinion. I don't know her.
Oh, how do you know she's good? Yeah, that's the question. You don't. All right, let's move on to another topic. Okay, that one's great, but we've addressed this politics in music thing before, and it's killed many a group. Let me tell you, even nationally, it's killed many a group by getting political. So you can do whatever you want. If you want to get on your Facebook and do that, just know that I'm not going to follow you anymore. I mean, and if that, I'm sure that doesn't matter to anybody, but
it doesn't matter, and that's why I don't announce it.
I don't want it in my life. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't care about anybody's opinion. I don't. That's your business.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But let's get to the topic at hand because it has made quite a splash, and there are a lot of people who think they know what they're talking about that don't know shit for shit, but they're super confident about it. And it's actually really funny. And then there's a lot of people that didn't even know these types of things existed. And we're talking about music licenses. And then there's a whole bunch of, there's just, I just don't think people quite understand what it entails. And then there is obviously a group of people that do. So I'm not saying it at all, but it's quite funny just from my point of view. So you want to go, Scotty? You want to start?
Well, yeah, let me start out with a definition, because I looked this up today because I wanted to make sure I didn't misquote anything from ASCAP. Okay, there's ASCAP, there's BMI, there's CSAC, there's a lot of these organizations who
All Tracks Pro, that's another one I pay.
Who want your money for music licensing rights, okay? And they want the venue owner's money. So their quote on their page is, a public performance is one that occurs either in a public place where people gather, other than a small circle of a family or social event in a home. A public performance is also one that is transmitted to the public. So that is their definition when they say you're providing a public performance. So you're providing a band that's playing music, or if you have a jukebox, sometimes the jukebox company pays for these fees and all that. But needless to say, and I know when I owned a nightclub, I felt it to be extortion. I felt it to be the music mafia. I felt that's the way they approached it. And I don't own a nightclub anymore, so I can say these things now. I think it's extortion in some ways, because the amount of money that goes back to the artist sucks. If it went to all the artists and they were getting rich off this, there'd be a different thing, but they're not. They're not getting that money. These people, the lawyers are getting the money, is who's getting the money. And let me tell you, if you get sued by them, you better be ready, because they got deep pockets and lots of lawyers.
Well, and that's where the majority of now, apparently ASCAP or one of them just got a new owner. And that owner actually raised the percentage that is going to the artists. I just learned this. And I learned that because somebody was on one of the threads. Now, I don't know. Let us state by saying this. We don't work for these companies. We're going based on the knowledge that we know, that we're told, that we see, that I deal with, that he's dealt with. This is not, we're not claiming to know the facts. We're not to know everything. It's just what we personally have seen or received. Thor. So he said that since this new owner took over, his quarterly check went from $85 to $1,000. Still not a lot, but way better. Let me go get Thor. He's outside.
Okay, and I'll continue on here and say this. Also a disclaimer, there's a lot of things floating around out there about a local venue who's been sued by ASCAP or BMI, one of the two. We are not talking about that. That is their case. That is their thing. And I don't want to discuss that venue in any way, shape, or form. I've done events there and everything else, and I think they're good people. I think people get caught up in we can't afford to pay much more. It's every time you turn the door open, somebody comes in with their hand out. But I will say music licensing for business is real, and it can put you out of business if you don't. And there's been several places that have closed up over lawsuits when they get tagged with a $30,000, $50,000, $75,000 fine because of a lawsuit against music licensing. And usually they'll strike a deal with you. But if you take it to court and you want to be the one that battles these people, it's like fighting the media. They got deep pockets with big lawyers, and it's hard to win.
There was a venue, I'm not naming any names. It was in Clifton that apparently went 22 years without ever getting caught, without having their music license.
And then the ASCAP guy walked in one night.
No, I think they closed down. They said that their entire time, and they had live music for 20 years. I mean, listen, I guess it can be avoidable, but it's based on capacity and this, the size and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm curious to know if this fine that they received is cheaper than how much it would cost them yearly.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
Think about it.
There was a big case in Palo Alto, California over this, and they went after numerous venues the venues band together and they said, okay, we're going to say, screw you, we're not paying it. And we're all going to band together and we're going to say, we're standing our ground and all that. The judge in the case came out and said, if the music sound is clearly audible in the space designated for customers, the playing most likely infringes on the music owner's exclusive public performance rights to their sound recordings. So he basically found in favor of ASCAP, BMI, and all those folks saying, you play it in your venue and it keeps people there, you got to pay the fee. So you pay a lot. I know you do, right?
Yeah. I do. So, and that's why I'm thinking, because I know what I pay and my capacity is 160 people. This venue that got ticketed is a heck of a lot more than 160 people.
Oh, you're not kidding.
And you have to pay 4 different licenses, like 3 main ones. And there's a 4th one that I got nabbed with. It's very low. It was a very low amount, but still, it's still money. And it goes to this one is specifically for, I think, the writers and stuff like that. But I would love to know what their fee was. Now, when they sent the ASCAP person in there were 3 songs that they're getting fined on. So I'm curious.
Being played by the band, right?
Yeah, that was being played. Because they find the songs, they'll send, like, they had been contacting this venue since they opened. And so I don't know how long that is. But then eventually they send somebody in to do an investigation and whatever. So like ASCAP has a book of songs that they cover. BMI has a book of songs that they cover. And they're looking for what songs their licensing company covers. And apparently there were 3. So that's what they're going to pay a fine on. Interesting.
Thank you guys for all the comments. I'm trying to get some of them popped up on the screen. I do have to give a quick shout out, changing gears for just a moment. My good friend Hollywood is in here. Hollywood, I can't thank you enough for that very nice post you wrote about me yesterday. I love you, my friend, and thank you for that. It was very, very touching. So thank you. And let me move on. Pennies on the dollar. Dave says, it's just another thing when you're a venue owner, and I can attest to this. And now today it costs so much more to run a venue than when I had one. It is very difficult because everyone comes around the corner with an invoice. I need a check. I need this. I need paid. I need whatever. And then all of a sudden some goofball tears the urinal off the wall and you got to fix that. And all the things happen like that you have to pay for. And you're like, when do I ever make any money? Everybody else is getting paid, but when do I get paid for this business that I work my butt off to run? And I know you do that, Ceris, every day. Mm-hmm. And I considered it back in the day to be extortion, but I paid it. And I mean, some of the guys that came in and were the BMI ASCAP guys, I only met one that I really actually got along with. The rest of them, it was like the mafia walking into your club. I mean, they're like, you're going to do this, you'll do it. If you don't, we're going to sue you and take your business. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a little different now. I don't have a problem paying the artists the money that they rightfully earn. My problem is that it's not going to the artist. Well, not the percentage that it should be, and that's my problem. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. And again, if the percentage was more of like an 80-20, 75-25 for the artists, sure.
Yeah. And
playing their music. Fine.
And Ray is spot on with this comment here. Ray, it is so flexi variable when they come into your venue and one night, one guy may count TVs and he may count how many seats you have. And the next night it's, you have live bands 4 nights a week, so you're going to pay this. I don't know that there's really a formula either. I think it's just based on whoever's out there who's getting a commission to make these collections. I really do. And I think they're going to get a commission based off what they collect. So the more they collect,
100%, yeah,
the more they get. So that's part of that. But it's, you wonder what the opinion of the artists would be. And there are some musicians on here today. Let's just say you have mainstream music out there that everybody's listening to. What do you think about this? Would you like it if it were giving you big checks? I don't know. I mean, it to me it seems to me like it's licensing, yes, but I mean, I get dinged on my shows all the time, and I'll play Benny Bodine's Next to Nowhere song, and I get dinged that Warner Music has the rights to it and all that. No, they don't. It's not published on Warner Music or anybody, but they hear a couple notes and the computer flags it. I think there's a whole lot of variables to this that are just distasteful to me.
I think also that it just sucks because they can raise their prices anytime. Like, it's just not. It's not even, there's no rhyme or reason for any of it.
I'm looking here at some other comments. Richard's
very heated up about this. This guy never says anything, but when this became a topic, he was all over it. He used to own a venue too. So, and let's touch on this, because this is what I don't think people are realizing, that these licensing fees, and like I said again, there's a minimum of 3 you have to pay, 3 big ones, and then I'm paying a 4th, a smaller one. These venues have to have it. I mean, whether they pay it or not, but they have to have it to have a radio, a jukebox, karaoke, any of those things. So what's happened is there's been less and less stages for artists to play on, because these venues aren't going to pay these fees anymore, and it's not worth possibly getting fined. So like I used to work at a bar before I bought the Bell and the Bear, before I bought McLeavy's and changed it to the Bell and the Bear, who used to have live music every Friday and Saturday, but they cut it because of the fees. That's one less music venue. But I have heard of a ton of bars that used to have at least a stage for acoustic acts or whatever, and they're not doing it anymore either. So it's killing the local music scene as well, because these venues can't afford it, and they're taking away more and more stages. It's
killing the very people they're saying they're protecting.
Exactly, because that's how I know it's all bullshit.
It's nothing but lawyers and some company that's making money off this. And if you talk to people who get published and they have publishing rights on their songs,
because it was McLeavy's, then it was Sneaky Pete's, and then it was McLeavy's. Sorry.
You get fired up on something there. Let me move on. I don't even know what I was saying at that point, but
you would have been a millionaire, Shane.
Yes, for your one song. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I agree, Shane. They're not giving anybody big checks at all. Nothing like that happening. And Patrice, thank you. Hola, how are you? Drew said we used a third party to cover the big 3. I think the cost was $500 for the year. That's interesting. I've never heard of third party administrators.
How does that work?
Yeah, talk to me about that. I'd like to hear more. And Ed says that's a crime. It is a crime. And
it's called All Track Pro. It's for the more for like the writers. And it's a very low amount.
Well, yeah, that's raised its ugly head now too, because it used to just be music licensing for the artist, and now it's the writers have a segment in there. What's the name of that one that they're after you?
All Track Pros.
All Track Pros or something. Yeah, it's just too much. Brandon Harvey, thank you. And you know what kills me too is they base this on your occupancy load. Like you said, you've got 138, right, Ceris?
What?
You have 138?
160.
Or 160, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So
that's one of the criteria. That's one of them.
And then they base it on the number of nights a week you do music and all that. And whether, and even people like Ray who do karaoke, they're affected by this as well. The jukebox companies pay a flat rate to put it in and those kind of things. And they also have to track plays. So they pay a rate based on songs that are played, and it's computerized in their jukeboxes and those kind of things, so they can actually get that information. Makes you wonder.
So Drew, he says, I'll have to hunt down the provider. It would go through Spotify lists and make sure everything. Okay, so what you did is somebody paid for the Spotify commercial thing, but you might want to double check on that, because that doesn't actually cover the license. It just covers your ability to all of the licenses. It just covers your ability to use, just from what I was told. I could be 100% wrong, but it covers you the ability to use Spotify, because that's its own entity. And there's a residential one and like a business one, just from what I heard. But again, I'm not claiming I'm right.
You know, Ray, I tried to do the same thing. I thought, I'll get ahead of the curve and I'll look for a license for what I do. And I could not get one based on that. It said the venues had to own the license. It's based on occupancy, not on a person coming in doing it. And I thought that's interesting. So they don't want my money, but they want the venue's money.
So artists are members of these places.
Musicians.
Musicians,
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean when I say artists.
Yes, musicians. And they told me that. They said, if you're a musician, but then you have to send them your set list and you have to divide it out. It's really weird. I don't know. It's too much trouble. But they will be the death of the local music scene if this continues. And every time they do this, it happened 2 or 3, 4 years ago. In fact, we talked about it, I think, Ceris, when it happened around here in that one, they went after somewhere in Silverton or somewhere in that general vicinity, and they were after him and they were going to sue him. And I forget the name of the venue now, but I don't know what the outcome ever came from that, but they were going after him the same way they went after the local venue now. That's
I heard about that, and I heard that their fines was going to be like, because they can fine up to $150,000 per song.
Wow.
Now, the article that I read for this one was going to be between $750,000 to $30,000 per song, but I don't know what that is. But
Kevin,
yeah,
that's fun.
Spotify is definitely part of it. All those streaming sites are, but it's also its own entity in the sense that Spotify gives you individual accounts or business accounts, and either way, you still have to pay licensing on those. And me all the time because I refused to put their flash drive. So lots of places that I had worked had issues, but when I was doing karaoke, I always purchased it. Covered the venue and the DJ. That would be my piece. Wasn't cheap, yeah. And none of it's cheap, but it's a part of running the business. It's a part of running the business, and it is what it is. And you pay it. I just wish the money went somewhere, went in the pockets of the actual artists and writers.
I saw someone post on it the other day, Ceris, that said, "Oh, this is just fake. It's all BS. They're just money." Don't believe the hype on that, because it is far from fake. It's been going on since the 70s when I was a DJ in the late 70s. And it was going on then. We were paying ASCAP and BMI back then.
A lot of people think because they haven't heard of it that it doesn't exist. Just
thank you, Drew.
In general, and it's some woman said, this sounds ridiculous. This sounds like it's bull crap. I've never heard of this. This is just a fake story. And I was like, and I said, just because you haven't heard of it doesn't actually mean it's not happening. I mean, I don't know.
Do you know literally you're responsible if you have music on hold on your phone system, you have to pay licensing fees for that. I mean, it's not just limited to live music venues. This is background music. If you play, let's say you put XM radio on in your bar and let it play.
Yeah, that's why I don't use any of those streaming things at all, because that's extra. That's an extra cost.
I'm looking here. Chris said West Side Establishment. Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. Rick Piper says saw one of those collectors made 1.5 billion. Yeah. None went to the bands, probably.
What does FAFO mean?
I don't know. I have to look that one up. I'm not cool enough to know what that means.
I'm not either.
Right. Tina,
what does FAFO mean? Fuck around, find out.
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah.
Good thing that's my favorite word.
Wow. So there is ASCAP. There is BMI, Broadcast Music Incorporated, as it's known. The American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers is ASCAP. There is CSAC. What's that appropriate name for it? It's the European Stage Authors and Composers. And then there's Global Music Rights also in there, which is it was formed in 2013. And it is based more on writers and such, but they are people who represent some of the biggest stars Global Music Rights does, like Bob Seger, Smokey Robinson, Daryl Hall, Pharrell Williams.
Well, I haven't been harassed by them yet. I did get harassed by All Tracks Pro, though. I don't know if that one, I don't know. That one was my lowest fee.
It says there is one exception for broadcast radio and TV in a business under 2,000 square feet or 3,700 square feet for restaurants. It said you can get away with not having it. That's interesting. And I don't know how that happens. Do you? I'm trying to look that up right now.
Ever heard of that. If you're a restaurant under 2,000 square feet, you don't have to? Is that what it's saying?
I'm trying to find it. Hang on.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I'm going to see who's quoted that.
I write a song that a Texas artist cut that went #1 on the Texas country music charts, and I've made like $35. I have no idea where the money goes. And it doesn't go in your pocket. It goes in the lawyer's pockets. That's the problem. You should have gotten some money for that. Bronson?
It says decision time for a venue owner is to pay now or pay later. You're going to get caught eventually, it says. So, and later may be much more expensive, it says. I wonder that sometimes if it's worth just to pay the fee and say, I'm sorry, and get away with it after not paying for 25 years like that one venue or something did.
Really, Mario? Are they? Mario's saying several of the breweries are getting hit with these letters too. You know, the thing is, I mean, sure, take the chance, but I mean, I don't know, man.
And this article that I have in front of me, which is done by a legal department out in California, the Palo Alto people who represented multiple venues, it says Pandora, iTunes, and other such streaming services are illegal for playing music in your business. You cannot use them. And then it's like, remember back in the day when everybody was coming in with the TV thing, you wanted to play the big game, and they wanted fees for that. And then it went to pay-per-view because of that, or the fights and all those things that people had. So everybody's got a handout, don't they? Everybody wants paid. And yeah, that's why they do what they do, Megan Miller. They do this scare tactic and put out a press release that says we're suing this venue, that venue. And if you notice the 30 venues in there was one in our local area. The rest of them were all across the United States. And they pick areas they're having problematic issues with, or one specific venue they're having a problematic issue with to scare tactic the rest of the venues. And now when the guys walk in for the next 6 months, you're going to say, okay, let me write you a check.
Yeah.
You're not going to fight with them. You're not going to argue with them because you're like, oh God, they're suing this big venue around us and we don't have the money for that.
Renee, is it good to be proactive about it? Like I do. I'm proactive about all of them because I'd like to avoid as many extra costs than I possibly have to.
I wonder if they could. Do you think they could go after the artist, the local cover band?
Now, here's the thing, though, right? And not many people know about these things, though, too. So it's hard to be proactive because if they open a venue, they may not even know. Just so you know that. Sorry, say that again, Scott.
Have you ever heard them going after like a cover band? I've not really seen anything on that was playing those songs. I mean, are you infringing on the?
It's the venue's responsibility for having the music, not the band, is what I was told.
Wow. I'm looking at one here. You could simply do nothing and not pay them. But looking at this article, one of the venues in California was given a fine of $30,450 for playing 4 illegally played songs. Plus, they had $10,700 in legal fees. Do the math on that. I mean, that's almost 50 grand.
So my question is, if that's okay, so then they're not getting charged per song. It was one fee. So
no,
if
they
that's
said 4 songs, 4 illegally played songs.
But it's not 30,000 per song.
No, that was the entire fine. Yeah,
so
that
what I'm
was the
saying
entire
is
fine.
that's the same thing that's going to happen to our local venue that got hit. I'll make you a bet that they're saving money by doing that, because I have to reckon that their yearly cost would be
huge.
If mine's $5,000 a year, then theirs would be like
50,000.
So yeah, I mean something crazy. So if and the max penalty that they're fining people for this one, because I've read the legit article that you have to sign up to read, but is between $750 and $30,000. So if it's not per song, then I bet you they saved money.
Shane DeMoss, that is a funny Can you see the ASCAP guy walking out with your PA on his back saying, yeah. Okay, I'll just take that and trade. I mean, that's about what it gets to. It's totally insane, Carla. I agree. It's extortion. What Steve Black asked here, he said, Tim Anderson, did you guys ever get by ASCAP or BMI for covering songs? And Tim said, no. Yeah, some people, they don't mess with, some they do. I don't know. But they seem to really be, and all it takes is one new guy. Because let's face it, this job sucks. If you're in there doing this every day, fighting with bar owners, it really is a sucky job. So the new guy comes in and they're like, oh, you can make these commissions. If you collect all this money, they're going to be like a shark for a while. And then they're going to get tired. I mean, it's like the guys that do state liquor control that sit in bars every night watching for underage drinkers and things like that. Those jobs are not the most premier jobs in the world. The undercover dudes and all that. And that's what these ASCAP guys do. They come in as a customer. They'll even pay cover fee. They'll walk in and sit there and they document the songs. And then they go back and look at it.
Bill, when you upload your videos, are you making a legitimate effort to write there, I do not own the rights to this music? Because you have to be anytime you upload any video or any song or anything that has music, you're supposed to write, I do not own the rights to this music.
Yeah, Bill, that goes on. I mean, I can tell you, I have people send me, I got dinged for a Johnny Fink song one day, and I got dinged, and it came through YouTube and the Book of Face, and they shut me down too for a day and said that you're violating copyright laws and all that. It is what it is. I mean,
karaoke fees are cheaper.
Yes, right? They are. The karaoke fees are much cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Yes. But again,
I will say this: it's fun. Somebody was saying that they had karaoke once a week, and karaoke once a week, or an open mic once a week, and their fees were $1,200 a year. That was the only time they had music.
There is a time frame on the song too. You have to play more than, I believe, 30 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, is going to happen to most people, but in my case, for a little gig that I do, we don't play more than 30 seconds of a song. So that's interesting. I'm have an ASCAP fundraiser. Yes. Yes. Help us pay our fees to stay in business. And Steve Black says it is $295 for karaoke ASCAP BMI fees. Is that based on occupancy load, or is that just based on a flat rate? I don't know.
I think that's a flat rate.
Is it just to have karaoke? Yeah. I don't know. Yes, Don Henley does not like anybody doing covers of his Eagles songs. I agree. I've seen that on TV before where he's been interviewed, and he'll go out. He's like Lars from Metallica with the old Napster thing and all that. They're vicious about it. And because some karaoke performances are unrecognizable.
That's what I
Thank
was
you,
like.
Rick. That's funny. Flat rate. Thank you, Steve and Bill.
Yeah, it's on anything. Even I don't know if you, Bill. I don't know if you ever see like when the Peters post anything, they always write at the bottom of every video, live video or every video they post, they say we do not own the rights to this song.
Exactly. So if you're watching after we're live, throw your opinions in about this. What you think about the BMI ASCAP and all that lawsuits that are going on, and tell us your view, because it's
Thanks, Ray.
And one thing I will tell you though, if anyone's watching that's a new venue owner, from my experience, don't say I'm going to be proactive and call them and ask what your fees are and all that. Wait for them to come in and then have a face-to-face.
Well, they don't come in. I've never had anyone come in. Knock on wood.
You've never had anyone come in and collect?
No, they call.
Wow, that's interesting. They came in and collect as check. We used to pay monthly on a monthly basis, and they came in every month and got their check.
Automatic withdrawal. It comes out every year.
Yeah. Well, that's good that they're not beating the door down, but they do send people in, investigators in. They do.
Well, when you're not paying, they send. So the actual article explained it perfectly. Our local news station didn't explain any of the details on what actually happened, but in the actual article, what happens is, and they gave, like I said, they gave the venue 4 or 5 years. Okay. So eventually if you do not respond and you keep avoiding it, then they send investigators into the establishment, and they pay attention to which songs they cover, ASCAP or BMI, whichever one they're with. And then that's how you get fined. But no, they don't. Everything's done over the web now. You just pay. Yeah, nobody comes in unless you're being investigated for not having a license.
Well, back when I owned a bar, everybody arrived on horse and buggy and those kind of things. So it's changed since then.
Changed.
I know.
Horse and buggies.
I'm old. We beat this horse to death today, you think? Are we good?
Oh, yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know the answer to that, Tina. That wouldn't really help, I don't think. It's just for posting it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such it's like stepping into quicksand. I don't know that there's a good solution to it. It is. So there's several articles online I was looking at as we're going here. There's some that say, how can you get an exemption from licensing requirements? They're not always one size fits all, and size of the venue matters. Must be 3,750 square feet or smaller to get an exemption. Are you 3,700 square feet?
I don't think that that's a full exemption. That doesn't make sense to me.
No more than 6 loudspeakers in total, a limit of 4 loudspeakers in any one room, no mandatory cover charge.
What are you looking at?
For entry. It's an article online. I'm just looking it up. No mandatory, and it says avoid playing music during downtimes. So I guess that means when you don't have live music or something. It's very vague, and this is put out by, this is a Pandora article from their side of things. So
okay, so that's okay.
Yeah,
that's different, I think. Yeah,
but even if you put an iPod on or iPad or an iPhone on your speaker system and you play music, you're still opening yourself up for music right infringement.
Oh, 100%.
Even if it's your playlist.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I need a shower after this conversation. How about you?
Yeah, it was gross.
It is. It's really gross. And Kenny says, get Elon Musk on them. Thank you for that. Dirt roads. All right. Shane DeMoss throwing the F the man in there. Yes, that's right. Let's go back to the 60s when everybody just said that. Right? Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Put it on the chalkboard at your front door. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't. It's It is so costly to run this business.
Glenn says, thanks for the entertainment. That's his code word for this doesn't pertain to him.
Do you guys know that the bar industry, restaurant industry, is one of the only industries where the business itself has to pay the sales tax, not the customer? So think about how much that costs a month.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
We're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars a month. A month. Whereas if you go buy a top, that you're paying the sales tax. So I just think I don't think people realize the cost of what the cost is to run.
No.
So the better you do, the more you're going to pay.
It's crazy.
And it's like $8,000.
Ouch.
It's no joke.
Ouch.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how much it costs to run this business. It's insane.
And then it's people who you hear people say, "Oh yeah, let's go on."
I'm not complaining about the business itself. This is my favorite thing in the world. I love it. The business itself is phenomenal, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. But I'm just saying what it takes.
Thank you, Mickey.
It's insane.
It is, and that's a wrap for the day. We got to get out of here, but
100%, Richard.
Thank you all so much for joining us and providing the entertaining comments back. We appreciate that very much.
Well,
Ceris, what's shaking at your bar this weekend?
Oh, well, tonight we have our trivia, Tuesday night trivia. You can win prizes plus the $2 PBR, $3 Jameson. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is our last Name That Tune trivia. Get your Name That Tune your music trivia.
Name That Tune trivia. Yes.
Yeah. Just make your reservations. We got a whole group of musicians coming out. On Thursday, we jam. On Friday, why do I always do this to my brain? On Friday, we have Sugar Daddy. It's their first time playing. They're a ton of fun. They're giving out free t-shirts and everything. It's going to be a great party. On Saturday, we have our double header. It's a little sneak peek to what's to come on Monday for St. Patrick's Day. We have Mojo Rise and open the show, opening up at about 5 p.m. They're going to play for a few hours. Then we have Doghouse for a few hours. It's going to be a great full day of music.
Wonderful. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, and then Monday, St. Patty's Day.
What are you doing that day? Anything?
Oh, yeah. We have Dell and Rob. They're going to come and do an acoustic set. After that, we have Blackbone Cat playing. After that, we have Miss Jackie playing. Opening the doors. We're opening the doors at 12. Music starts at 2. Yeah, Ed will be at the bar pretty much every single day.
Perfect. Thank you, Gina McCann. Hey, I'll be out to see her at the Fitness Center on Saturday, and Angela Combs, the Crimson Sisters. That'll be fun. And I will tell you, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night at your place. We're going to have some fun. I'll be at the Miamisburg Moose tonight, and then a weekend full of St. Patty's festivities all going on. We want to see you out and about. So if you do see us, spot us, say hey. Don't say hi to Ceris if she's just had to kick somebody out for climbing over a fence, though. You never know what kind of mood she may be in when that happens. People are weird. They are. Love you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Yes, you've been watching Hot Topic Tuesday.
Hot Topic Tuesday
With Ceris and Scott. Join us tomorrow with Hoopty here at noon.
Working for the weekend.
Hoopty, I said.
I wanna see a show
Hoopty live tomorrow at noon.
on the
Yes, their name is Hoopty.
There's a man on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great